Welcome to Hidden History. In today's episode we will discuss the Celtic giants that once walked on planet Earth. Mainstream narratives don't like to discuss about the giants because it contradicts a lot of historical narratives. Apart from the mythological cycle of the Druidic island, the various Celtic tribes of Ireland passed down stories of the potent Irish giants that were once called the Fomorians, or undersea dwellers, who came from the giants' kingdom beneath the Irish Sea, the Celtic Sea and the Atlantic Ocean. Their massive Cyclops king was called Balor mac Dolphin. He ruled the Fomorians with a stern, fearless demeanour. Across the Irish Sea and the Celtic Sea in the landmass of Wales, the Celtic Britons and the Cymric Welsh have Welsh narratives about the Cynna Brynia, or hill giants, and the Cynna Dryfrin, or valley giant, who roamed the countryside of North Wales, the Clyndia Range, South Wales, the Isle of Anglesey, Pembrokeshire, Gwynedd, Wrexham and Snowdon. These narratives became a proud aspect of Welsh folklore, much like the Fomorian giants who resided in the Grampian Mountains, lowlands also called the Midland Valley or Central Valley, and the Southern Uplands. Such narratives about the Scottish giants were cherished by the Highlander clans and the Lowlander clans alike. Even in Old England, tales speak of another kind of ceremonial magic that was used by the Celtic wizard Merlin Willett. It's said that Merlin received help from the Albion giants so he could build Stonehenge on Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire to truly make Britain the sceptred Isle of Divine Wisdom. According to Holinshed's Chronicles of England, Scotland and Ireland, that was published amid Fleet Street in the city of London on the 30th of April 1577 by Raphael Holinshed and William Harrison. The resourceful Albion giants once ruled Albion, or Britain, for over 1,000 years. Were the Albion giants of the sceptred Isle ancestrally connected to Atlantis? Were these giants actually a part to our ancient past? The Celtic wizard Merlin himself may have been inspired by the prophonic prophet Midrith Willett. His name Merlin Willett is thought to come from a name from the archaic Gaelic of Druid Ireland, Moradina Firaina. This is why Merlin Willett had links with the archdruids of Celtic Ireland. The 12th century Christian cleric and Welsh scholar Geoffrey of Monmouth introduced Merlin Willett in his famous book The History of the Kings of Britain, originally called On the Deeds of the Britons, that was published on the 28th of February 1136. Another famous tale is Jack and the Beanstalk, but few realise it shares derivations from Irish, Scottish, Welsh and English folklore. Versions of this story were initially published on the 30th of September 1734 and retold by writers like Benjamin Tarbart, Sir Henry Cole and Joseph Jacobs, who helped preserve Jack and the Beanstalk for generations to come, both in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and in mainland Europe. Many locations across the Isle of Britain are said to have once been home to forest giants. In the expanse of Hampshire, the 30-foot tall Ascapart Maganor roamed the New Forest until he was defeated by Bevis of Hampton in the 13th century. Nearby, the wheeled giant, known as Urnegate Borthwick, caused fear and panic among the English people during the 14th century, as he was the forest guardian who despised the cutting down of trees and shrubs in southern England. In North Yorkshire, narratives from English folklore tell of the Penhill giant, who resided in a shining fortress high above Wensleydale in the Pennine Chain or Pennine Hills. On the Isle of Man, folklore speaks of the fearsome Buggane, a massive cavern giant shunned for his ugliness. Buggane resided on Snaefell Mountain and sometimes dwelt near the village of Crecknish on the British Crown dependency called the Isle of Man. In Warwickshire, the English knight called Guy of Warwick is said to have defeated the Albion giant Colbrand near Winchester on the 17th of August 1532. In the West Country, where Bristol is located, the troublesome marsh giants Gorham and Giston once plagued the residents of Bristol, Gloucestershire, Somerset, Wiltshire, Devon, Cornwall and Dorset during the early medieval period. From Penzance to Falmouth in Cornwall, tales of Jack the Giant Killer, who was known in the Cornish language as Jago Chinoweth, date back to the 12th century and 13th century. Jack the Giant Killer, or Jacko Chinoweth, defeated the upland giants such as Cormoran, who was linked with St Michael's Mount near to Marazion in southwestern Cornwall, and later Blunderbore of Land's End or Peel Point in southwestern Cornwall. He went to slay Thunderdale, a double-headed monster giant who resided on Bodmin Moor in northeastern Cornwall. In East Anglia, the elusive marsh giant called Thomas Hickathrift was said to stand over 18 feet tall and live in the fenlands of Norfolk, Suffolk and Cambridgeshire, where he was peaceful and happy. Another figure was the marsh giant called William Eddington of Lindholm, who lived as a Christian hermit on Lindholm Island within the Humberhead peatlands, comprising Fomor, Goulamore, Crowmore and Hatfield Moor in South Yorkshire. His existence is recorded in a parchment will from 1407 as documented proof that even the legends of marsh giants, cavern giants and mountain giants can leave traces of truth behind. But these giant stories and narratives are not confined to the British Isles. Across mainland Europe, tales of giants were conveyed in Switzerland, Austria, Italy and Croatia. In Belgium, Dutch folklore tells of the Druion Anticoon, a reddish-haired marsh giant who intimidated travellers at the river Schelde until the brave Roman centurion Silvius Brabro cut a hand off Druion Anticoon and cast it into the river Schelde, which flows through Antwerp in northwest Belgium. In Germany, the massive Fred giant, or the Brady giant, was said to haunt the cityscape of Dresden during the 13th century. He and other giants would roam across North Rhine-Westphalia, Bavaria and Baden-Württemberg, and in expansive areas like the North German lowland, the Central German uplands, southern Germany and the Alpine foreland and Alpine mountains. Therefore, Germany was seemingly full of mountain giants and cavern giants. They were feared and caused endless trouble for the German people. In the French Republic, the yellow-haired giant called Jehan Guillon stood 14 feet tall and defended the townships of Arras and Douai in the 9th century, while other forest giants and marsh giants prowled the countryside of Brittany, Normandy, Aquitaine, Burgundy and Provence, along with other areas in France. And in the Netherlands, a legendary Frisian patriot named Pierre Gerlof Donny and Gratte Pierre, or Large Pierre, was said to stand over 9 feet tall. Both a warrior and pirate, he became a nation defender of Friesland from 1502 to 1518. The bravery, strength and height of Pierre Gerlof Donny exemplified in narratives from Dutch folklore. From Ireland and the United Kingdom to Belgium and the Netherlands, the legends and narratives still remain. Seemingly, the marsh giants, forest giants, cavern giants and mountain giants walked planet Earth before Homo sapiens or human beings, leaving behind resonant imprints with Mother Nature. Even today, the giants are still talked about. So what happened to the giants and why is there so little history about them? By revealing the truth behind the giants will alter the Western perspective of history and also expose the bogus theory of evolution. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please subscribe if you haven't, and you can also join the members section where we have exclusive content. See you in the next video.